Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. Yesterday I only had like one thing that I would like to talk about, and basically that was it. And in the meantime, I got a little bit busy, so I decided, okay, I'm not going to stress out with anything from YouTube yesterday. So I just skipped through the day to take care of YouTube's channel, so there was not anything that I would like to talk about. And fortunately, it gave me a little bit time. Late night, I recorded another episode to keep on everything on the backlog. But yeah, still not much to talk about. But at least we got some interesting news here. Ratchet Clank's ripped apart the PC version, of course. The patch, this one, improves performance, ray trace shadows, and more. Interesting that I think it was not one of the worst kind of ports in terms of games launched. Even though I think that they had like some bugs regarding like ray tracing and everything, and I think they managed to get with this patch, besides performance, to do some things regarding the rift transitions, because I think this kind of the system that they managed to get on the game, it's even though I don't know how, because I'm not sure how the rift mechanic works, if it is like a fixed spot or if it is something that you can open. I don't know, I never played the game, so that's why I was thinking about in the back burner how in terms of the game the mechanic itself might work. But yeah, they improved a little bit there, and also for people that had using FSR 2.2, there are some ghosting issues. It's one of the things that plagues a little bit the FSR technology more than the DLSS, which is like every fixed element on the hood might have some issues in terms of ghosting. But yeah, supposedly that is kind of fixed there. But yeah, it seems I think the game is pretty good if you like this kind of games. Usually this game is not that much for me. I was never like a huge guy for like the Mario, Super Mario stuff and this kind of games, Ratchet clank. Even though from all the footage that I saw, like trailers and everything, seems to have like a cheeky kind of sense of humor there. But yeah, I never follow up too much, but it's always good to see that at least everything that comes to PC, it's in good shape to be a good game, even though those games might not be for my taste. But yeah, it's good to see that. Also, there was an interview. This has come from TGS kind of thing here that is coming, the Tokyo Game Show. There was the COO of Capcom, this gentleman. I will not try to butcher his name. Of course, now because of the Activision and Microsoft deal, everybody is talking about it. If they're going to accept, if what if scenarios here regarding Microsoft acquisition deals, and from Capcom, supposedly this is like official word because it's the COO. They will gracefully decline the offer because they believe that it will be better for them to deal with them as equal partners, so not under the umbrella of Microsoft, but as the same. But yeah, it's interesting. Usually Japanese companies have a very different way to go about it, even in terms of corporations, how they work. It's kind of a different kind of a mindset here. And they were talking about like acquisitions, mergers and acquisitions. I think there have been many mergers and acquisitions talk in the game industry. Yeah, there was a time that they were targeted for an acquisition, but yeah, they supposedly seem to prefer a more organic growth, whatever that means. But yeah, they also want to expand a little bit more for mobile. That's why we got basically the things for Resident Evil Village coming to iPhone and iPad. I don't know how this is going to work, and also Resident Evil 4 remake is supposedly going to mobile market. Yeah, I saw one article or two. I don't cover, of course, cell phones and and pads and that thing. It's basically just PC. But I saw some headlines here that even the iPhone 15 supposedly it's like have a very decent CPU or GPU chip, very powerful chip that can handle some pretty hefty gaming. But there are some games. I think it was one of those free to play games. I don't know. That is very popular in the gaming in the mobile platform. Yeah, the iPhone seems to struggle a little bit because it basically stutters and underperforms because of heat dissipation problems. Of course, it's in the more smaller you get the device, the more difficult it will be to cool that device because there is no lot of space to put air in it. That's why I thought interesting. Like a few months ago. Few months, like early this year on the CES, the things that they had, the membrane, vibration membrane that cools the air, that serves as a cooler. I've completely forgot the name of that product, but it will come already. It's coming on Zotac, like mini PCs. They have like those like it seems like a, I don't know. It's very small, like 3 centimeters by 5 centimeters kind of a thing there, that it can be placed in a SoC if needed be, and with high vibrations, it would just basically pump out hot air out of the chip there. It's very interesting. I don't know if it will be. I don't know if even the battery of an iPhone can handle something like that. I don't think so. But there already saw also some cooling, the like external cooling things there for the iPhone. Oh my god, this industry just wants to squeeze all the money they can get out of it. But yeah, I don't think iPhones or even mobiles are for this kind of games. It's too much to handle. Even Valve Steam, the Steam Deck can handle, but usually it's very low settings. But it's designed to be a gaming handheld, but it's different. The last thing that I want to note here on this kind of a talk is basically that they are basically, as the title says, game prices need to increase to keep up with costs. That's another issue for me. How about you lower the cost of development games, trying to fix a way to reduce the costs, given that it's been a while now that physical editions are not basically almost an option in some games. For example, Alan Wake 2 will be basically exclusively digital. There is a lot of money that it's being that was spent like trying to set up all this thing, the CD printings and then the boxes and then distribution. It is a lot because it's physical distribution, so that's a cost that they don't have anymore. And given that sometimes even with all these huge budgets that they go with, sometimes we'll be seeing a lot of like flops per se regarding the gaming industry. I think that one of the most recent examples, like Callisto Protocol, it was a relatively small team for the standards of a AAA kind of a game that they were trying to achieve, and didn't sell that well. They had some issues here and there. I don't know. If you ever, like, every couple other years you're going to ramp up prices $10 just because the costs of making a game are higher, you just need to start reducing the costs of how you make games. For sure, I know that there is a lot of, I think that's why also there is a lot of AAA studios that are going for Unreal Engine 5. There is a lot of automated AI generated content they can make. So you make a few blocks of the puzzle, and then you tell the AI to generate the huge swath of a scenario or level, basically, and then you just tweak here a little bit on the sliders to put it the way you want it, supposedly. If this reduce the cost of of developing a game, because usually the costs go throughout the duration of how long you need to do to get to develop a game. It's more about that, because games now are more complicated, and they take more time to come out. I think if they can reduce, like for example, 6 months on in a 5-year period, which is usually kind of the normal time that you have to spend to develop a game. If you reduce 6 months out of it, I think you can maintain a decent price. And I don't know. It's a lot of rambling from my part, but it's one of those. It's those thoughts that are on my mind when I see these guys talking about pricing and technologies and what they want to do. Sometimes I don't know if they, because they are not like the normal average Joe that deals with all this stuff that has to pay for to use the things. These guys have everything for free. They usually don't pay it. But yeah, it is what it is. And lastly, you got from Tokyo Game Show also, you start to see a lot of Dragon. Oh my God, Dragons Dogma 2. A lot of previews here from a lot of outlets. Oh my God, my tongue is twisted here. You got from GameSpot. I saw the one from GameSpot and IGN because of mainly of the symbols. The rest of them seem like in foreign language. Okay, I never played for the first Dragon's Dogma, but from what I've been seeing throughout the years, it seems a very interesting game on how they deal with like combat, the pawn system, day and night cycle. It was pretty good at like 10 years ago, and I think the overall odds from what I perceived is it's more of the same but refined. So they picked up the formula, refined the formula. If I'm not mistaken, I also think this is Capcom. I think this is on the Resident Evil engine that this game is made of. That's why it seems a little bit more smoother. Because I think the first Dragon Dogma was not that good in terms of fluidity. I think this game is more fluid. You got to there was some videos so you climbing up these huge beasts to try to hit them like weak points, similar to the system that the Shadow of the Colossus kind of a thing there. Yeah, the pawn system, I think the AI on that it's more refined also. But yeah, it's a preview. Everybody took like just 1 hour to play that preview. There is no launch date still, but I think that they are trying to get a little bit of a feedback. I don't know if they're going to announce afterwards if they're going to introduce more stuff, because I think kind of the monsters that people fought were basically the same ones as the first game. There seems no, I don't know if it is a consistency between the lore, because I don't know how the Dragon's Dogma 1 lore functions. I don't know if there is possibility to introduce more beasts and everything. I don't know how that lore was explored, how you dealt with that in the first game. But yeah, it's pretty good, but it's it tries to bet on improving what they already know that works at the moment. It seems that way. But yeah, regardless, it's being prepared. It seems that it is a good game, in my point of view, from what I've been seeing here. And I'm going to, for today, wrap up with some gaming deals. We got still Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, 50% off around 1 day after the video is published, give or take. We got also now Ni no Kuni, the 2 games, the first one remastered, 80% off, and Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom, 85% off. I got my tongue is really twisted today, sorry. And lastly, we got Cyberpunk 2077 with the Phantom Liberty announcement. And the bundle with the Phantom Liberty is 33% off, so $60. So basically the price of a full game at the moment with the DLC here. And yeah, this the 2.0, I've been seeing some videos here and there on like the differences, especially between launch and the 2.0. It's basically what I was thinking. It's basically how the game should have been launched, with all these features, the perk systems and the trees of how you do it, the transmog of equipment, and everything that to a certain degree they promised the game was being launched with. It's now achieved with 2.0. version, plus of course the Phantom Liberty DLC. It seems pretty good. Even the story, like the main campaign, is very good from what I understood. I didn't get into spoilers, so I tried to have like try to get a sense of if the story is good or not. But yeah, plus you have the anime, which is a prequel here. I think it's on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. Seems pretty good. Yeah, it's a shame that this engine still has a lot to offer, in my opinion. Red Engine, and they are changing to Unreal Engine 5. I think it's more about, as I said, CD Projekt usually does huge worlds, especially for The Witcher 3. I can see the advantage of going like AI generated content in that space, not AI, but automated generation of huge swaths of terrain, as the demo that I showcased a few months ago. I think that makes sense a lot, but I don't know regarding the because the engine is very fluid. It's very demanding in terms of hardware, but of course, if you would want to ramp up with RTs and all that stuff, it's going to be demanding in any engine. But yeah, it's good to see that at least the game now is worth playing at full price at the moment with the DLC here. And yeah, this is supposedly going to be the only DLC launched for the Cyberpunk, mainly because they're just stopped working with there is a small team that was working on the DLC, mainly because of the fact that it's made with Red Engine. I don't see anything coming soon, only like patches and fixes and all that kind of stuff. The rest, I think it's yeah, we will not see any more content for huge content for the Cyberpunk game with any game whatsoever that uses Red Engine, which is not that much. But yeah, I think yeah, it's another ramble. Yeah, basically this is it, guys, for today. I'm just going to plug in my Patreon for the extra support here. The extra support will go of course for the PC at the moment. I just want to expand a little bit on the storage to have backups of my projects that I do for my private clients, and of course have more space for some footage from the things that I do for the channel. And basically this is it, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, Kunamy Master out.